Welcome to the Put on Waivers Media Group, home of the Put on Raiders podcast and the Student Body Right podcast. This is your place for the best breakdowns and the best insight for those who fight on and bleed silver and black. Now, here are your hosts, Dwayne Douglas and Ryan Holmes.
Back on the glorious episode of the Student Body Right USC podcast. I'm your host, Dwayne Douglas, and I am podcasting off the beautiful shores of the Pacific Ocean. Beautiful day out here in Southern California. PORSBR is my Twitter handle. And you can definitely catch us on the X or Twitter app, whatever you want there. Instagram, that's Put On Waivers _ podcast, Put On Waivers _ podcast on Instagram. And then the text line is in the bio. All the good stuff is in the bio too. It's including these t-shirts, man. So let me know, DM. Let me know, holla at pimp, holla at my boy, holla at your boy, whatever term you want to use, to get whether the Student Body Right t-shirts or the Put On Raiders t-shirts. So let's meet Matt Entz. He is the former head coach of North Dakota State, championship pedigree head coach. He's won championships on that level, and now he comes to LA. You go from North Dakota to LA. That should be an interesting transformation for him and his family. But let's look at the situation here where Lincoln Riley brings him in. Now you look at Lincoln Riley. People say didn't care about defense. One of the biggest travesties in college football is that he wasn't able to secure a good defense with Caleb Williams. And that's something that we're gonna always have to remember him by. But at least for the most part here, he is not paying lip service to helping this defense get better. He went out there and got Danson Lynn. Thank you for all the corrections of his name. I'm terrible with names. So Danson Lynn, the defensive coordinator. And there was no big time relationship there with Danton Lynn. He saw a really good coach. He had some do's and some don'ts and some things that he really wanted to get in his defense, and this guy fit the bill, especially with the quick turnaround he had at UCLA. Now you bring in Matt Entz. Matt Entz is a guy who is going to be the assistant head coach and in charge of assistant head coach on defense and in charge of linebackers on this team. And this is like a regional cold weather kind of hire, right? You have this guy, big burly guy, who is just a guy who knows how to coach defense, knows how to coach linebackers, and now with USC trying to get there in the Big Ten, they got to get some linebackers who can really thump like the Big Ten, who have that motor like the Big Ten, who have that size like the Big Ten, and this is something that USC fans are excited about. I'm going to kind of take a little bit of a wait and see attitude about it. I do think he is a quality coach. And I think for him too, he's been at the SBS level for a long period of time, and he must be wondering, what does he have to do to get a higher job? What does he have to do to get into the Big Ten as a head coach? What does he have to do to get to the SEC as a coach? Well, if you start turning around linebackers and getting a linebacker who can wear some of who can play like Cushing, who can play like Sayal, who can do those things like that, get quality linebackers at USC again, that's going to be that's going to be the big thing. Can he come out here? Can he do those things? Can he help in recruiting? And then when they get in-house, it's all about player development, folks. And we know it's about player development. We've seen that before. We had a defensive coordinator who didn't believe in player development. He just played who he felt like playing. It's really that simple. He played who he wanted to play. So, this is an opportunity here where USC gets a chance to get better defensively. And this is something where I feel like this is something where USC has a guy in fold who is not a longtime friend of Lincoln Riley. Not a longtime friend of the program, not a guy who has a bunch of Pac-12 or laws Southern California ties. He's just a damn good football coach. That's all good. I mean, there's a place for really good football coaches on your team, and this is a great opportunity for SC. It's a great opportunity for Matt Entz to get his career to another level. And I think one thing that's really as true and I really like about this move is the fact that do you really want to are you scared to have future head coaches on your staff? If you're the guy in charge, you can't be scared or paranoid about having guys who possibly can be future head coaches on your staff. It's that simple. And I think in Matt Entz, that's a possibility down the road. And I think also when you look at a guy like Danton Lynn, who is 36 years old, the whole world is in front of him. He has a lot of NFL ties, has a lot of ties in college football as well. He could be a future head coach as well if things progress and he's able to turn around USC the way he did UCLA in just the one season he was there. So I think this is a really good move. I don't think this is not a move where you're playing around at all. And I've always said when you look at head coaches and you'll see a lot of turnover in the National Football League. You'll see a lot of turnover in college football. And when you look at assistant coaches, what do they say? Oh, does he have ties to that head coach? Does he know? Is he familiar with that head coach? In some way, do they know each other from a certain area or whatever? Nah. And sometimes it's all about just getting. You're a good coach. You want to be a great head coach, and to get there, you need really good, talented head coach prospects around you. And so when you have that meeting of the minds, it's not that the friendship thing. Oh, you're gonna fire me? I mean, I thought we were friends. Like, this is about winning football games. This is not about Thanksgiving dinner. This is not about, our kids playing together, all those things like that. It's about winning football games. If those things happen, great, but it's flat out time to win football games at USC. And I think this if we take solace in one thing from this terribly disappointing season, is that Lincoln Riley seems to be on the track of taking the disappointment and trying to turn that thing around defensively and helping that team and helping his football team become way better defensively. And that's the key. I mean, they have to be better defensively. If they're not better defensively, then they're gonna be 7-5 all over again. All over again. But if they can be good defensively, then he can sit there and say, okay, all I gotta do is find 27 points, 24 points in this game against this quality defensive opponent. And for the most part, we know Lincoln Riley has been able to do those things. So do like to hire. USC was quick to get that on the web, to get that on the official site and give you the fight on emoji on a football Sunday. So we know that was good. I also think recruiting as far as the linebacking core, the big burly guys you need up front to run this defense. You need big boys to run this defense. I think the Trojans strength and conditioning coach talked about them going to the Big Ten, not the big medium. So you need some big boys to go there, and I think that's going to be something that USC seems to be on their way with Danton Lynn and then Matt Entz. And I have not found any connection between Matt Entz and Danton Lynn. Besides those guys being up and coming coaches, I have not seen any connection that they have in the past. So this is just going to be a group of men getting together to try to bring Trojan defensive football to a higher level as far as that goes. All right. Somebody right, USC podcast. Cool stuff there. And a little bit of an announcement for the show. We are going to be in San Diego at the Holiday Bowl covering this event. So really excited. I'm in the event between Louisville and USC, the Holiday Bowl, sponsored by DirecTV. Should be a great time out there. San Diego is a beautiful city. If you haven't been there, I definitely recommend it. But I'm really excited about being out there and getting a chance to kind of give you some behind the scenes stuff from SC and Louisville And maybe hopefully I get some questions in. Hopefully I'll get some questions in and see what's popping as far as that goes. Should be interesting to see who plays in this game, because it sounds like it's obviously Caleb Williams is not playing. It's Miller Moss time, and then also Miller Moss is probably auditioning for other teams around the nation. Because it looks like either it looks like Cam Ward or Will Howard or somebody's coming, Grayson Allen, somebody's coming to be the quarterback of USC in 2024. If he wants to stay, he can battle it out, but he's not going to have that job just handed over to him. All right, Trojans, take care. See you in the next one.